Hey, quick question. What is your usual turn 1 play in Commander? Did you say land pass? Look, we've all been there, but what if I told you that you can actually make way better use of that 1 mana? And don't worry, I'm not talking about turn 1 soloing. In this video, I'm going to show you my secret tech, the best underrated 1 job that every Commander player should be running. I run all of this card in my paper deck, and trust me, they absolutely pull their weight. And the last card on this list will surprise you. Before we jump into the list, let's take a quick look at your deck. How many 1 jobs are you actually running? And what is your typical turn 1 play? Let me know in the comments. If soloing is the only card in your 1 mana slot, this video is going to completely change how your early turns feel and make your deck 1 smoother than ever. Let's kick things off with Haywire Mite, a 1 mana 1/1 artifact creature insect. When it dies, you gain 2 life, and for a single green mana, you can sacrifice it to exile a non-creature artifact or non-creature enchantment. I genuinely don't understand why they keep giving green such absurdly efficient removal. Be honest with me, if you see this thing on the battlefield, are you really going to slam your mana rocks, your Sword of the Animus, or your value engines? The Voltron player basically can't play Magic until this thing is gone. And because it's a creature, it triggers all your Beast Whisper, Guardian Portrait, or similar draw engines. Why does this card have no downside? And it's only 50 cents, and you should absolutely play this in all your green decks. Coming up next is Spectrum Sentinel. And no, don't confuse it with Esper Sentinel. This is a 1 mana 1/2 artifact creature soldier with protection from multicolor. And whenever a non-basic land enters the battlefield under an opponent's control, you gain 1 life. And let's be real, Commander players love their non-basic. Whether it's for color fixing, utility lands, or MDFC, they are everywhere. If Spectrum Sentinel sits on the battlefield for 5 turns, you can easily gain 10 to 15 life without lifting a finger. And you know nobody is spending a removal on this. Having an early creature also matters more than people think. You are not the easy punching bag anymore. If your opponents want their attack triggers, they will have to swing somewhere else. And the protection from multicolors is surprisingly relevant. Most Commander are multicolor, so you are basically shutting off Commander damage from a huge portion of the format. And oh, this card is like 20 cents. Is it better than Esper Sentinel? Probably not, but is it criminally underrated? Absolutely. Next up is the best 1 mana equipment in the entire format, Pip-Boy 3000. I know, you thought I'm going to say Skullclamp or Shadow Spear. No, you don't know me at all. Those cards are great, but they are too well known, and I'm here to talk about the underdog. Pip-Boy 3000 costs 2 to equip, and whenever the equipped creatures attack, you choose 1. Draw a card, then discard a card. Put a +1/+1 counter on that creature. Untap up to 2 target lands. All 3 modes are genuinely good, and you will pick different ones depending on the situation. But let's be real, untapping 2 lands is the strongest. It basically refunds the equip cost, and if you untap a bounce land or a free tree city, you can actually go mana positive. It is also an attack trigger, so you don't need the creature to connect. This thing is only $3.15, and honestly, you can put it in any deck that care about attacking and it will do work. Next card on the list is Siren Stormtamer. If you have watched my other videos, you already know I love playing Dimir Control. And this card is one of the most annoying little creatures you can put on the table. It's a 1 mana 1/1 flying pirate wizard, and for a single blue mana, you can sacrifice it to counter a spell or ability that target you or a creature you control. That basically means your opponent has to remove Stormtamer before they can touch anything else you care about. Is it better than a 2 mana counter spell? Sometimes, yeah, it's an on-board trick, but your opponents still have to play around it. And if a 1 mana creature can disrupt their game plan or eat a removal spell, that's a win in my book. I also love evasive creatures. They are perfect for carrying equipment and triggering all your coastal piracy effects. And if you care about creature types, pirate or wizard, Siren Stormtamer is an auto-include. This card is only 35 cents. Alright, next up is a card that every Commander player has played, cut it, and then eventually put it back. It's Expedition Map. It is a 1-mana artifact that lets you pay 2 mana, sacrifice it to tutor any land to your hand, not just basic, any land. In 2026 Commander, lands are getting more and more powerful. 3-3 City, couple of coffers, Field of the Dead. Take your pick. Need interaction? Grab Boseiju or Autorara. Need to save a creature? Talent Gates of Mandara has your back. The flexibility here is absurd. And the design is just so clean. Turn 1, Expedition Map. Turn 2, you crack it, and you have guaranteed your turn 3 land drop. And if you are still playing 35 lands in your deck, seeing 2 lands and an Expedition Map in your opening hand feels like Christmas morning. But seriously, please play more lands. 37 is a 4, and we will fight about it in another video. What I love most is that Expedition Map scales. Early games, it smooths your mana, and late game, it becomes a silver bullet. I run Urza's Cave in my Dimir decks just to find couple Corver and Urborg. But honestly, Expedition Map does the same job, but more mana efficiently. Expedition Map is currently sitting at 99 cents. If you don't have one in your collection, I strongly recommend you pick one up. Moving on, we have got Bed of Holding, which has been an absolutely MVP in my new Mono-Red Go-Go Mysterious Mind deck. If you haven't seen that video yet, it's worth checking out. For 1 mana, you get an artifact that exiles any card you discard. Then you can pay 2 to draw a card and discard a card. Or pay 4 mana to sacrifice Bed of Holding to get all those exile cards back to your hand. It's like your own personal saving account for value. In red, this is huge. Red decks are constantly looting and rummaging. Faithless looting, Field of Possibility, Big Score, you name it. Bed of Holding turns all that card disadvantage into long-term card advantage. And obviously, if your deck cares about filling the graveyard, skip this. But if your commander cares about discarding, like Captain Howler and Catchamos, this thing is an all-star. Early games, it provides card selection, and late game, it refills your hand. People compare this to Currency Converter, which is great, but that card is like $12 because of the combo potential. If you don't care about the combo, Bed of Holding is usually the better value engines, and it costs only 15 cents. I love budget cards that actually provide great value. And speaking of value, if you are enjoying the list so far, consider subscribing. It's completely free, and I make Commander videos like this every week. If you can only afford to run one piece of Graveyard Hate in your deck, it should be Ghost Vacuum. This colorless artifact gives every deck access to reliable graveyard interaction, and in today's Commander, almost every deck uses their graveyard in some way. And be honest with me, how many times have you wished you could exile just one key card from an opponent's graveyard to stop them from looping value? And how many times have you died to a Gravecaller combos, or watched someone bring back Geisoclasm over and over again? We have all been there, and we should all be responsible players. Ghost Vacuums let you tap it to exile a target card from any graveyard. That alone is already solid. You can use it to respond to a Reanimate, Eternal Witness, or a Marin Trigger. Whatever the table is trying to bring back, you can snipe it before it hits the battlefield. But the real payoff comes in the late game. For 6 mana, you can put each creature card exiled with Ghost Vacuum on the battlefield under your control with a flying counter on it. They becomes 1/1 spirit in addition to their other types. And this is huge. You are not just getting the ETB effect, you are getting all the static ability too. Imagine hitting Elish Nong and Tosswheel. Even as 1/1, those abilities are still very powerful. And the firing counter is a nice bonus, making it easier to trigger any attack triggers or chip in for value. Ghost Vacuum is flexible early and powerful in the late game, and fits into literally any deck. This is exactly what you want from a 1-mana utility artifact. If you like Aristocrat or any graveyard-centric strategy, Vats of Rebirth is a fantastic 1-mana artifact to consider. Whenever another artifact or creature you control dies, you put an oil counter on it. And later you can pay 2 and a black, remove 4 counters, return a creature from your graveyard to the battlefield, activate only as a sorcery. 4 counters might sound like a lot, but think about it. Creatures die in combat, they die to board wipes, and your treasure, crew, food token, they all count as well. You will hit your 4 counter way faster than you expect. And this gives you repeatable recursion, which is huge for a deck like Seatora or Taser Color. If you're already sacrificing creatures for value, you might as well bring them back and do it all over again. This is an uncommon from Phyrexian All Will Be One, and it's only 25 cents. Next, we have got a classic from the original Ixalan, and I can't believe that set is almost 9 years old now. Legion's Landing is a 1-mana legendary enchantment that makes a 1/1 white vampire with lifelink when it enters. When you attack with 3 or more creatures, it transforms into a land that taps for white mana and can make more 1/1 lifelink vampire for 3 mana. I love cards that can turn into lands. Unlike mana rocks, nobody is blowing up your lands in casual commander, and that's why I'm also a huge fan of Treasure Map, Thematic Compass, and Search for a Counter. If you are playing a white Vinny or token decks, transforming this is super easy. I'm more than happy to throw away 3 1/1 to flip it. And the vampire tokens also trigger all your small creature draw engines like Welcoming Vampire and Enduring Innocent. If you are in a white creature deck, this deserves a slot. The last reprint was 5 years ago and is currently around $2.30. This last one is a throwback from 25 years ago, but I believe it's still one of the most relevant blue cards in 2026 Commander. Seal of Removal, a 1-mana blue enchantment. At any point, you can sacrifice it to bounce a creature. Most players look at this card and think, oh, it's just a cheap removal spell. But that's not actually how this card plays. Seal of Removal is a really powerful political shield. It's closer to a ghostly prison than just an unsummon. The moment it hits the table, you are telling the whole pot, if you swing at me, your creature might go right back to your hand, and suddenly people start attacking elsewhere. You can even make deals and say, hey, if you go after Jaden, I will bounce his only blocker so you can get in for commander damage. And the mind games matter. If Seals of Removal is on the field, are you really going to cast your commander into it? Probably not. Making your opponents hesitate, delay their game plan, or rethink their line for even just 1 or 2 turns is absolutely worth a single blue mana. And there's actually a whole cycle of this card, so pick the one that fits your deck and you will be surprised how much work they do. And there you go, my top 10 turn 1 plays for your commander deck. Commander players love squeezing out value, but for some reason, everyone forgets about turn 1. Now you have got a whole list of cards that can add to your deck and make your early games way more interesting than Land Pass. Let me know which one you are already playing and which one you are adding after watching this video. And if you enjoyed this topic, consider subscribing. I'm really hoping to hit 700 subs by the end of April, and your support means a lot. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys next time.